Okay, so uh this is gonna be a sloppy interview. I just woke up because it took me forever to figure out this whole South Africa time and West Coast time. One thing I would like to kind of point out is it's funny, about a year ago, you messaged me on Instagram telling me about
Okay.
Fred Berry. I was just like, what is this about? I have no clue. And then like it just kind of like it was this big, slow, long progression. And then like I saw the trailer and was like, holy crap, this looks so good. And I'm just like, when you messaged me about it, I had no clue what the movie was about. I'm just like, oh, okay, what is this? And then when
Yeah,
I
yeah.
saw it, I'm like,
I think that I don't even know if the trailer was out then because I
no,
was.
no, no, it wasn't. So I had literally nothing to go on. But when you
Yeah, yeah,
dropped the trailer, I was just like, holy crap. So it just kind of funny that this was this long 1 year buildup for me personally,
yeah.
of it. And then when I finally saw it, it was just like, this is incredible for me personally.
Cool, man. Thanks so much.
So um now what I want to get into, I have a few questions obviously, and um or not few, but this is also like my second interview. So I'm not super great at these interview things. So
It's chilled, man. It's chilled.
oh yeah, no,
Cool.
it's chill. I'm just I have no coffee in me, so I'm just so like, you know. When I'm done with this, I'm gonna head out and go get myself some coffee. I think, what is it, like 7 o'clock there now, right?
Yeah, it's about 20 past 7. Yeah.
Cool, cool. So I guess my first question is, how did you meet that Gary Green guy?
Yeah,
That's
I
what I'm
love that.
interested.
Everybody always asks that because they're always like, "Where the fuck did you find this
I mean,
guy?"
you have to go to the origin of that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah. So I met Gary probably about 11 years ago on a. It was on a student. I think it was like it was like a student honors or masters film, and yeah, I just started talking to Gary. I had like a little featured part in it. I had a little featured part in it. We were actually sitting there waiting to be used, and we were just sitting there for fucking hours. And then me and Gary started chatting, and then I think shortly after that, I'd ring I'd ring Gary for because Gary's background is he used to do extra work. So then I started ringing Gary to be in like music videos and stuff that I've done, and yeah, I just started getting him in music videos. It was started off as an extra in my videos, and he started getting like little featured parts, and his parts just grew a little bit bigger each time. And then in 2017, we did that Fry Barry experimental short, and then that was the biggest thing that I did with Gary. And then from there, the rest is like history. A year or two later, we ended up shooting Fry Barry, and yeah.
Now, one funny thing, and then for those of you that are watching this, he does have a YouTube channel. What is it? I think a Ryan Kruger thing, right? Your YouTube
Yeah, I
channel.
think so. Yeah.
Yeah, so definitely go subscribe to his channel, because there's actually little cool things. You can actually see some of his music videos that he's done. Now, I think in what, 2011, you had a clip called "Time Travelers" up, I think, right?
Yeah. Funny,
Which,
funny enough, I just watched that because I was sending it to somebody, and I actually haven't watched it for years until today. I watched it actually today, so it
I
was
actually
yeah, it was a
watched it
little.
last night.
Okay.
Wanted to do a little homework, so I had like something to blab about and stuff on this. But what's funny is the time travelers thing. Like, I feel like that a little bit of that was kind of seeped into the whole Fried Berry thing, because you had the
Yeah, of course. Well, it's the
same
two
actor.
characters for a
Yeah,
start. So you've got the two main characters in Time Travelers are the same characters that they are in Fried Barry. And then obviously Gary Green is also in Time Travelers, and
yeah, you can see
there's
him in
there's
the
a, there's
background.
a few, yeah, yeah. There's a few people there. That's actually I think all the I think in fact all the people that are in Time Travelers, apart from maybe one person, the nurse. I think the rest are all actually in Fry Barry.
Yeah, so that was one thing I thought was really cool. One other thing too, I really want to point out that you did with the whole Fried Berry thing. You have done a ton of these interviews, because I just wanted to kind of see how many are floating around out there, and you just have a ton. So I think really one of the big benefits to you doing all these interviews is that each little channel that you've done it on, you have all these viewers, seeing Fried Berry, Fried Berry. So I mean, that's a really like big grassroots effort on your part just to get more of the, fried berry thing out there. Obviously,
Well, that's probably why you got the first message off me, because I spent like probably the last like 2 years just constantly pushing for fried berry, that the feature's coming out soon, showing off the short experimental, because that was hitting festivals. And yeah, it's literally because we didn't have like a studio behind us, we were doing all our own marketing. So I've literally probably spent like 2 years just sitting there, just messaging people, and I think that's the best way. It's like the power of the people, and no matter what podcast or interviews and stuff, everybody has the followers, and obviously the more people see it, the more groups of different people see it, the product just grows, and it gets gets more out there.
And that's the thing too, is I think that having you be able to have that personal touch and connect with people, that makes them a little like more apt to be like, oh man, I really got to check this movie out, because obviously you're a really cool guy. Like that was my thing. Like I really enjoyed, kind of interacting with you in the beginning and stuff like that,
Oh man, thanks, dude.
So that's one cool thing on that. Now one question I did have. So in Fried Berry, when the alien abduction scene was happening, was that his penis or was that a stunt penis?
I was thinking, are you going to ask that or not?
Of course I'm going to ask. Why wouldn't I? Has anyone asked that question?
I think I don't know if it was on podcast or somebody asked me. I think somebody messaged me and asked me that maybe once or twice a while back. But no, it wasn't. I'm pretty sure Gary goes around going, yeah, it was my dick. It was my dick. But it was a prosthetic dick that we used. And the funny thing is, when we went into the prosthetics place, I said to my friend Clinton, I said, right, dude, I'm looking for a prosthetic dick. You haven't got a prosthetic dick by any chance? And he goes, actually, we've got like a box full of them. And I'm like, oh, okay. So then, I remember going into the prosthetics place, and I remember holding like 6 dicks in my hand, just going, right, okay, I can't use that one. That's too small. This looks like oddly colored, and this looks like a shade of this color. This looks a shade of this color. And then I was just like, okay, this one's cool. It's like there's a bit more detail on it. There's a bit of veins there, or whatever it was. And I was like, right, this is it. This is the winning dick. And it was funny, while I was standing there with a handful of dicks, my producer took a picture of me just standing there looking at these dicks, going, right, which one should I get? So yeah, it was a prosthetic.
Wow. Okay, well, that's awesome to know, because if anybody was really wanting to know if that was a real dick or not, it was a prosthetic dick that you had to.
It looked pretty real.
Choose.
It did look pretty real, real with the lights and everything. And yeah.
I mean, that scene made me cringe. I put my hands on my dick and was like, oh God, that's terrible. So I kind of want to keep this interview short and sweet. Now, what I want to kind of move to next, let's talk about merchandise. I think you recently said that you put out some Fried Berry merchandise recently.
Yeah. So on the Fried Berry site, friedberry.com, we've got even more stuff coming out now. But yeah, we have t-shirts, we have signed posters by me and Gary. We have hot sauce, Fried Berry hot sauce, which is cool. We have badges. There's a number of like really cool stuff. And then we did have condoms and toilet roll, which is like sold out straight away. Like for some reason, everybody wants the toilet roll. And
were those condoms really flavored that way? Like
no, the actual packets weren't, but they were just normal.
Okay, because that yeast flavoring was really the cinch. I did watch the commercial, by the way. The commercial is amazing.
Yeah. It was
that's another thing too. I also want to point out is that you took Barry and you did all these little shorts and stuff like that. It's just more things, just putting them out there and stuff.
Yeah, I think like as an independent filmmaker, because when you haven't got like a studio behind you, and depending on the film that you got, you really got to think out the box when it comes to PR and marketing and stuff like that. And that's why, like I said, for like 2 years, I was reaching out to all these people. But then again, when it came to the marketing side of content, Fried Barry was great for that because it's such a wacky, crazy film. There's no rules. So that's why when it came to like the condom commercials and all these like little funny marketing things, it was just endless and it was cool. And I started posting those out, you know, before Fried Barry came out, before during when we were shooting, I was releasing those as well. And there's still loads. There's still loads that we haven't released. I think one of the next ones that we're going to release is Safe Sex with Fried Barry, which is pretty funny. Maybe a little bit too graphic, I don't know, but it's funny.
Now let me ask you this: during the safe sex commercials, is he going to say some of the things that he said during the movie?
No, it's more of how can I say it? Okay, for example, there's fingering techniques.
His fingers, that can be its own horror movie in itself right there, you know.
It touches on like sexual techniques and stuff like that. It was pretty funny to film. It was pretty hard not to laugh and at what we were shooting at the time. Also there is a watermelon in the videos as well, so you can only imagine what he could do to that watermelon. I don't know.
He's gonna make a really horrible summer beverage right there. Okay, so that's the merch right there. Oh, I do have to ask, did you try the hot sauce, by the way?
No, I haven't tried it yet. Our merchandise is actually based in the UK. So the guy that does the sauce, Dean of the Dead, we're actually getting some sent over. So I haven't tried it yet. The hit it's really nice. I'm a big chili guy, so I love chili and hot sauces and stuff. So I'm waiting for that to be sent over this side.
Yeah, the sauces look really good. I just I'm afraid to order it from the UK because it's from the UK, and I'm sure the cost of it being shipped to the US is probably a nice chunk of change. So
yeah, I think it'll be cheaper that way instead of coming from South Africa. I'm pretty sure it'll be like way fucking more.
Yeah, but I don't know. I might bite the bullet on it because it does look really good, and you know, it's video content. I could try it out and make a weird face if it's really spicy. I don't know. We'll see.
Cool.
All right. So the other part I want to kind of get to, what are the plans for putting Fried Barry out on like Blu-ray and stuff? What's
yes, at the moment we're still, you know, we're still hitting so obviously you know, with Shudder releasing Fried Barry, you know, obviously it's already gone to England, America, Australia, Canada, New Zealand, Australia. And we're still waiting for it, you know, it's going to get released soon in Germany and Poland and South Africa. It's going to be released in October, so it's not even out here yet. And the DVD and Blu-rays are coming soon. I think it's in the next month or two. So it will be released in the States on Blu-ray and DVD, and you can order it online as well.
Yeah, I'm hoping, since the whole Shudder thing, they look, you know, fancy like this, because the Fried Barry artwork is so good looking. Like on a slipcover, that would look amazing. So I'm hoping it's gonna look, you know, something kind of like that as far as that goes. That's the
definitely. Yeah, it's cool. With the Blu-ray, we're gonna have a lot of you know, the making of commentary, behind the scenes, you know, gag reel and stuff like that. So yeah, there's going to be a lot of cool stuff, because that's the thing, if you buy a Blu-ray or DVD, you know, there's nothing better, you know, getting all the extras there, that, you know, how we made it and stuff like that. So it's got a lot of cool stuff on. Even some of the marketing stuff as well will be on the Blu-ray as well.
Cool. Well, that I personally look forward to, and I will definitely buy a copy when that comes out, because I don't know, this is, for me, the movie was definitely one of the better films for, you know, 2021 that I enjoyed a lot.
What was your favorite scene?
My favorite scene, that's hard to really gauge, just because there were just so many crazy scenes.
Yeah, there's so many. Yeah, that's the thing. I think when you watch Fried Barry, and you know, when people come out of the, you know, after they finish watching it, there's so much content that you've just watched. There's so many you know, oh, this scene, and then oh, there's that scene. You know, there's just so many little things that you remember and then forget and go, oh shit, and there's that scene as well. So yeah, it's always interesting to see
like for
people's
me,
reaction.
there just wasn't a dull scene. Like, you know, the beginning, the crazy hooker going home scene, the club scene, the, you know, mental whatever hospital scene. I mean, there's just so many, like the supermarket one. I mean, there's just so many fun little things. I mean, even like the weird cashier interaction and stuff like that. Like, I
Yeah.
mean, there's just, you know, there wasn't any time where I was just like, all right, this
Yeah.
is the slow part. It was just like constant, like just go, go, go. So
Yeah.
that's what
I think that, yeah, I think that's the thing with Fried Barry. It's, you know, it's from the beginning, you know, I always know it's definitely not for everybody, this film. You know, it's you either get it or you don't. And if you go into it open-minded, then I think you'll enjoy it more. Like there's a lot of, you know, it's Fried Barry is very well thought out, and it's designed to take you on this journey, to, you know, to give you this experience as if you're Barry, or as if you're with Barry going on this, you know, on this like drug trip. And that's why, you know, there's all these different scenes. It's just like a road movie without a car, and, you know, Barry's the car, and, you know, but there's a lot of depth, you know, there's a lot of heart in the movie. There's a lot of depth. You know, we show that darker side of humanity and how crazy society is. And, you know, and the whole experience is, you know, it's meant to feel disjointed, you know, because it's literally like you're meant to be on this drug trip. So everything from editing to cinematography to music and sound design, it's all a part of the experience of you know, of this movie.
you know, what I was gonna say for me, like I waited kind of a while. Like I know it was on Shudder, but like for me, I, you know, again, this is a big lead up to this movie, so I had to like have a good, like proper viewing of it. So like I went over to someone's house, had like my favorite person in the world with me, and like two other guys. One guy was stoned out of his mind when he watched it.
Yeah.
So he just kept saying, "Oh my god," every like 20 seconds. He was like, "Oh my god." It was just like it was amusing, but he was definitely very drawn into the film, so that was also really fun as well.
Yeah.
Uh,
I love people's, you know, reactions of the movie, because it's so many different people get something different out of it. And that's what I love. Some people will pick up more stuff. Some people will get more of the Easter eggs in the movie and stuff like that, because there's like hundreds of little hidden things and Easter eggs and stuff like that in the film. So, you know, there's a lot of I just love seeing people that love it or even don't like it. It's also designed for, you know, for a certain target market. But I always say, like, you know, even if you don't like this film, it's cool because you will speak about it. And there's plenty of films that we watch every day that we don't even talk about it because it's not worth a conversation. So even if somebody doesn't like it, they go, "Oh, I fucking don't like this. It's got this in." And then whoever's listening could be going, "I actually sounds all right. I actually want to check that out." So it's always cool to see just how, you know, just how different and reactions that people give, and just overall just get out of it. And that's why, even though there's a lot of depth and of the film, the cool thing is that it's, you know, everybody's got a different taste, and that's all right. I even the people that don't like it, it's just interesting to see why they didn't get it, or why. And they're just like, it's so crazy because these people are saying this, these people are saying that. So it's just up to interpretation of, you know, I think a big thing comes from, for me, is like personality and sense of humor. So some things I might find fucking funny, somebody else won't. You know, like what I saw this one review, and it was this chick, and she was like, "Yeah, I just didn't find it funny." And I'm like, there was not one scene that was funny, and I couldn't stop laughing because it was just like, how could you not find this and this, you know, certain like little bits not funny? So I guess it's personality and sense of humor, and how, you know, how open-minded you are to, you know, to certain things. Because I also think we live in the day and age where, it's like, you can't say this, you can't say that. You got to be careful what you say. But at the same time, it's a movie and it's characters, and don't take it so seriously. I mean, you can't take Fried Barry so seriously because it's such a wacky movie, and it's meant to be like that, So it's just like, I think some people like look into shit too much. I'm like, it's just a movie. It's just characters. Like, if you don't get it, it's all right that you don't get it. It's not made for you. It's not, you know what I mean? So.
And that's for me like what it is. I mean, Fry Barry, it's just an alien that crawls into Barry and takes over his body. And there's just it's just like, it's like if E.T. crawled into Elliot and then did a bunch of drugs and then went on Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas. I mean, that's just the best way to put the movie. It's just a bunch of crazy insanity.
It's E.T. on crack.
Yeah,
that's literally what it
crack
is.
Or is it hair? I mean, what are they doing? I think I don't know. It just
well, you see that's the other thing is in like Fry Barry, like the amount of like different drugs there are within the movie. I don't even know at the top of my head, but yeah, there's a lot of different drugs, as the film goes along. There was actually, we actually shot it and we didn't put it in the end, but there was, every time like a new drug was taken, it would cut to this guy which would say, it would say all the nicknames for the drug, and then he would say why it's good, and then it would say why it's bad. So it's like educational at the same time. But I think that just like fucked with the flow of the movie. And I think I made the right decision. Well, I know I made the right decision to take it out. It's cool, very cool scenes, but it just broke up the film a bit, like too much, it took you out of the film a bit. But it was, it was interesting to see how much drugs there was in there. And even when it came to like the sex scenes, it was funny because I know there was a few sex scenes, but I remember when I went to CineQuest and we were screening the film for the first time at the cinema, it was actually quite funny because when you sit there the first time, I've seen the film about 1 million times, but when you sit there with the audience, it's almost like you're watching it again for the first time, and it's because it's on the big screen. You have all these people around. You're very you're very focused on what's happening, and you're not in your living room where you're looking around and talking to people. So I remember sitting there thinking, shit, there's quite a lot of sex in this movie, and I didn't realize how much there was until I sat there going, fucking hell, yeah, there's quite a bit,
Let me be really, really, really awkward. What was the black baby juice made out of?
I don't know, I'm trying to think what was called now. It was
because that made me cringe, definitely.
Yeah, I think it was just a mixture of like, there was a certain thing that we used, I can't remember what it was called now, but I think it was also a mixture of like food dye and stuff like that. So which we like squirted out and pumped out and stuff like that. And that scene itself was her giving birth, and yeah, it was an interesting scene to shoot. But it was also quite funny because we had this Shane, we had this like focus puller that came like last minute, like the day before we organized him to come down. So he was doing the focus while we were shooting, but he was quite religious. He was quite like religious, and I forgot that he was quite like religious. So now we're shooting this baby birth, and the baby coming crowning, and all this stuff, and she's like half naked, and the whole sex scene. So I think I remember just seeing him pulling focus, but like pulling his face, thinking, "What the fuck is he doing? What the fuck are we shooting?" And then
probably like, "Forgive me, Jesus, for filming all this devil baby stuff."
Yeah. I mean, at the end of the day, it was like, "Hey, dude, just a heads up. Next time, just let me know if you're shooting stuff like this. Just let me know." And I'm like, "Oh man, I didn't even think about that, dude. I'm so sorry. Like, I'm so sorry." So that must have been an interesting day for him for sure.
The struggle was very real for him, I'm sure. On that.
Yeah.
All right. So I guess two other things, just because my channel deals with like Halloween and stuff like that. I gotta ask, like, what was like probably your go-to Halloween costume as a kid? That's a crazy question there for you.
Ooh.
Has anyone asked that?
No.
Ah, there we go. I got something different.
And I'm just thinking now. Trying to think what I dressed up as a kid. I know dressed up as Frankenstein a few times. I dressed up as the Crow maybe twice. What else? Shit. Yeah, I used to have these like horror masks and stuff, which was just like random like latex horror masks I would wear as well. I think that's all I could think of. I think last year or the year before, me, my producer, and my camera guy, my DP, we all dressed up as Fry Barry. So we all had the black denim jeans, the denim jacket, and then we printed out like Fry Barry face, and we all wore the Fry Barry face. So that was pretty fun. We'll probably do that this year as well. I think maybe.
That's a good costume. Speaking of costumes, I'm gonna tell you, it would be crazy if Trick or Treat Studios, they're like a big, mask company in the US.
Yeah.
Crazy if they did a Fried Berry mask. That would be insane if they did.
Yeah, that would be cool. I know. Yeah, I've seen the work that those guys have done. It's pretty cool. That would be awesome.
Cool. Well, that's I feel that's all I have in me for interview questions. I kind of wanted to, like I said, keep it short and sweet. I really just wanted to kind of, make people aware of Fried Berry, the merch, and then whenever the movie might come out on Blu-ray, and that's pretty much all I need.
It should come out Blu-ray in a month or two. But yeah, if you're on Instagram, Fry Barry Movie, or a Ryan Kruger thing, or you can check out frybarry.com. We have the merch on there. We have all the new information coming out all the time, and same on Twitter. We've also got our channels there, Fry Barry or Ryan Kruger. And yeah, you can check those out, keep updated with more stuff. And I'm also busy releasing soon. Some of it's hitting the festivals now, where I've got a few experimental films. So if you like Fry Barry and you like that type of vibe, then I'm pretty sure you'll dig some of these experimentals that's coming out. And yeah, and then hopefully next month or September, I'll be shooting my new feature film, which I can't really say too much about, but yeah, I'm looking forward to that.
Cool. Well, thanks, Ryan, for joining me on this early morning or late evening talking adventure. So
yeah, cool, man. Well, I really appreciate it. So thank you so much. Thank you so much for having me on, man.
Totally. Thanks, man. I'll catch you around, and look forward to when movie number 2 comes out, which
deep fried Barry.
Maybe. I don't even want to think about deep fried Barry. That would be awkward. Just him like completely deep fried. The hair, I'm sure, especially, would be extra crispy. All right, man. Cool. I'll catch you later. I gotta get myself some coffee. So, ciao.
Cool, man. Enjoy the rest of your day, man. Cheers.
Yep.